Students, I have started topic public policy. I have divided topic under two head. Yesterday I was doing policy formulation. Today I will do policy execution and policy evaluation. As I told that public policy is one of the most important component of administrative theory. It pervades entire public administration. Rather, if someone said that public administration is basically overshadowed by public policy, there is no exaggeration. Public policy in practice or as a behavior is as old as public administration is, but as a concept it is new one. As I told, the fifth stage of public administration is called stage of public policy perspective, which started 1970 onwards. Getting a point? Public policy, as I told, can be discussed under two heads. First, public policy is an object, and second, public policy and process. When we talk of public policy as a subject, then we discuss fiscal policy, monetary policy, industrial policy, agricultural policy, or public policy as an object. And wheresoever when talk of public policy as a process, we discuss public policy in continuity as formulation, execution, and evaluation are interrelated. So these three components constitute a dynamic nature of public policy. Here it is very difficult that where it starts and where it gets finished, but it is some sort of continuity. Here I have tried to summarize the topic. Here I have taken one graph. This graph shows that here on left hand, this side right, there is official and non-official factors involved in policy process, and here stages. First stage is formulation, second stage is execution, third stage is evaluation. Monitoring is part of execution. Get a point? That's why I put monitoring under bracket. Get a point? Here I divided the factor influencing public policy under two heads: official factors and non-official factors. Official factors include legislature, executive, bureaucracy, then judiciary, then international organizations like UNO and World Health Organization, etc. Wherever non-official or non-official factors include public, political factors, political parties, pressure group, civil society, media and press, then private sectors, market forces, etc. Get a point? So if you write formulation or execution or evaluation, if question is being asked, what are factors influencing public policy or their stages, you can write this explanation without having any confusion. You can write and you can mention, explain them thoroughly. There is no wrong at all. Get a point? Now here I have pointed out that the hurdles which influence public policy process in formulation, execution and evaluation can be in general summed up under following five heads: theoretical hurdles, political hurdles, administrative hurdles, substantive hurdles, and environmental hurdles. Technical hurdles means the hurdle which is related to the formulation or you can the formatting of public policy. Political, because it's very important one, it is political system under which entire process takes place. That's why political willingness, leadership matter a lot. Administration is basically the key factor playing important role. Its support is very much essential for effective formulation, effective execution and evaluation. Get a point? Substantive hurdle means some public policy are of various nature. Some public policy can be of very concrete nature. Some public policy can be very fluid or very intangible nature. So it's also determine some sort of quality, effectiveness. Get a point? And environmental factors Hurdles means the environment are not uniform. Sometimes they are conducive, sometimes hostile, sometimes integrated, sometimes unintegrated. So this factor also influence policy process. So you keep in mind and write according to requirement. You may get very good marks. So you don't have to bother. So last time I was discussing policy formulation process. I told formulation is the first stage. You can say first impression, the last impression. If policy is not properly formulated, then no matter what commitment you have, what resources you have put at disposal, they are not going to work if it is not rightly formulated. Get your point? The formulation is very important point. That is why we give maximum emphasis on formulation aspect. I told it is basically like a business of legislature, but in reality it is done by executive, bureaucracy support it, and legislature have ultimate control over them. On the other hand, judiciary also exercise control and supervision. International organizations also supervises it. Get a point? And on the other hand, there are a number of unofficial factors influence policy formulation because they help them directly or indirectly. That's why they have very effective number and public, political parties, the pressure group, civil society, media, etc. I told in the beginning that this topic is completely open one, and there is always a scope of, you can say, your own deliberation. So whatsoever you write, whatsoever you think, whatsoever you feel that these things are relevant to this topic, you can write. As much as you write, as much as more chances of getting good score. So I will like to say, keep your mind open, think thoroughly before writing and put in order. So there is no difficulty at all. Today, as I told, I will discuss policy execution. Policy execution is very important stage. Why this stage is important? Because the policy benefits are harvested here. Here policy is basically, you can say, operated, implemented. Whatsoever policy decision we have taken, now time is to put in order. So this is very important point, and I told already that almost all public policy met failure at the time of execution only. So execution is very important. That is why we give maximum concern over it. You know, last time Prime Minister used the term policy paralysis. What the term stands for, policy paralysis? He was saying that in India, policy is basically paralyzed, particularly at the time of execution. That's why Yojana Ayog was dropped and Niti Ayog was established. Niti Ayog, as the name suggests, it is something, some organization related to public policy, but it has one more meaning, that it is National Institute for Transforming India. In fact, government has taken resolution to create new India, to make new India, and to realize them, policy paralysis are to be addressed effectively, and Niti Ayog is one of them to address them. And I tell you, recently, whatsoever decision government has taken, these decisions are extraordinary decisions. Their decisions are of far-reaching consequences, and these decisions are to a certain extent successful only due to close scrutiny by Niti Ayog. Still, Niti Ayog play a very significant role in making India a new one. That is why I pointed out Niti Ayog to keep eye over, to keep watch over policy process, to keep supervise the policy execution process, not for policy, public policy, let paralyzed Getting point? So these are some things which are to be importantly considered here. So policy execution is very important. As I told, almost all public policy made failure only at the time of execution. That is why it is of utmost importance to give maximum efforts on policy execution. So what is policy execution? If someone asks you in layman's sense, what you say? Policy execution means to implement the policy decisions. Whatsoever policy is formulated, now it is time to get it implemented, to put into order, to give policy decisions to be operated. Getting point to achieve whatsoever goal or objective is set, that is policy execution. Getting point? It is business of executive. Executive is particularly responsible for execution of public policy, but executive is not alone here. Here bureaucracy play very significant role here. Here also the same thing I told you, large number of factors influence policy execution as compared to policy formulation. Here number of variables affecting policy execution much more complex. Why? Because it is time of harvesting and everyone exercise pressure to put to corner policy benefits in their own side. That is why this stage is supposed to be very crucial. You compare MP or MLA on the one hand and DM or SP on the other hand. Which faces more public pressure, MP, MLA or DM or SP? Everyone knows that MP or MLA as compared to MP, MLA, DM, SP are more subjected to public pressure. Reason that here they are basically executive. They are grassroots level executive. They bear the responsibility of executing policy formulated and designed by parliament or a state legislature, which influence large number of large section of society. That is why they get too much public pressure. Get a point? So here also the factors influencing policy execution can be divided under two heads: official factors and non-official factors. Official factors include executive, bureaucracy, legislature, judiciary, international organization, etc. On the other hand, non-official factors include public, political parties, pressure group, civil society, media and press, private sector, market forces, etc. Getting a point? I must tell you, earlier policy execution was business of, you can say, bureaucracy, and it takes place under the overall leadership and supervision of political executive. On the one hand, legislature exercise public control over, popular control over executive administration. On the other hand, you can say judiciary exercise legal control over, judicial control over administration to ensure supremacy of constitution or law. Getting a point? Earlier, bureaucracy was also responsible for execution of public policy. Recently, particularly after 1990s, due to LPG, large number of new agents are getting involved in policy execution. Now, triple P, public-private partnership, somewhere private sector also, market forces, international organization, international companies, multinational company are also allowed to involve in policy execution work. So now number of factors increased significantly and new stakeholder got entry here. Getting point? Last time you may have heard that the corona testing, there were government hospitals responsible for, but since their number was very limited, that's why Supreme Court has given historic decision and ordered private hospital to undertake free corona checkup, because they are large in number and they also required to bear some social responsibility. That's why court has given order. So what I mean to say here, that there are two agents I told. official and non-official. Here, just I was talking of official one, international agency like World Bank, WHO, they also play a significant role. Getting point, it's in execution. Public is very important, you can factor here because it's a beneficiary of public policy. So it influences public policy directly. They exercise pressure through demonstration, then petition, application, sometimes you can say protest also. And in its interest, several other factors come in limelight like political parties, like pressure group, civil society, media and press, public, private sector, market forces also get involved in policy execution. So civil society on the one hand, market and private sector are also now become part of execution, and they are very much involved in policy execution work also in recent years. So this is a very important one. Get a point? So, but you know what do you mean by execution? When you talk of execution, you talk that there is something like you are going to execute public policy. But public policy has more than one justification. Policy execution is not merely putting into operation, it has some other dimension also. Then can you tell me what's some other dimension? Public policy execution can be taken as a pressure politics, can be taken as exercise of political pressure politics. Means through policy execution you can benefit your well-wisher and you can target your opponents. So this is very important one. So you can take policy execution as pressure politics. Then you can say take policy execution as a consent of mandate also, because in course of policy execution you give honor to mandate what you got through election. So this is a very important point. Sometimes you find there is criticism against government, why government is doing this work or that work. That time government give you can say pretext of saying that it's doing nothing, but it's just honoring mandate got during election. So this is the thing. Number 3, policy execution as a instrument of accountability and control. Through policy execution, Parliament and judiciary got opportunity to exercise control over government. Government got opportunity to exercise control over administration. Higher official get opportunity to exercise control over subordinate agency. So these are sequence of accountability and control also. Next, policy execution as an, you can say as an intergovernmental bargaining. Means since in federal structure there are existence of number of government and they do some sort of bargaining pursuit to take policy in their own benefit. That is why during execution we find some sort of intergovernmental bargaining. And last but not the least, policy execution is a game. Here every stakeholder thinks that policy benefits should be in their own side. That is why they exercise different tax, different you can say tactics to put policy benefits in their favor. And those who tactics are successful are in position to harvest policy benefits in large proportion. So this thing you also find during execution also. The public policy execution has more than one justification. It is an instrument of pressure politics. It is some sort of consent of mandate, you can say. It is instrument of accountability and control. Then I told it is basically another form of intergovernmental bargaining, and it is some sort of game also. So this thing you keep in mind. Policy execution is basically, I told, takes place under political executive and a direct role is played by bureaucracy. Getting point, whatsoever you know about political executive, whatsoever you know about civil service, you write there is no difficulty as such. Get a point? So here, before execution, you require to take certain things in mind. If you go without preparation, you are going to put yourself in difficulty. So your first thing, make some important safeguard before going into execution. So what are precondition essential for effective execution? First of all, you require classification of public policy as program, as projects, activities, etc. So first you require to do classify public policy as operational unit like program, like projects, like activity, etc. Number two, determine the administrative machinery. You set which administrative machinery will perform program function, which will undertake activity function, etc. Number three, you consult with interest group. The policy is targeting some interest group. Then before execution, you require to consult them and take their support. Number four, there can be large number of other beneficiaries also which influence policy execution. To make policy execution successful, you require to take their support also. Getting a point? And last, clearance from regulatory authority. You require to take clearance from regulatory authority also. Getting a point? Otherwise, in the meanwhile, if you don't take clearance, then execution may be blocked, or you can say stopped in the meanwhile if regulatory agency raises some concern. There should be a space for innovation also, because it may be possible that the existing machinery may not work and you require some new setup. So there should be a space for innovation also. Then you require to manage resources. If there is no resource, then how you will put into operation. So that is very much required here. And last, continuous monitoring system. You require to keep watch over development, and if you find any deviation, then you require to correct also. So monitoring is very important, and I must tell you, it's the most it is weakest link in execution process. There is due to lack monitoring, almost all public policy suffer a lot. That's why you require effective monitoring also. So this is the thing you require. 8 point as precondition for effective execution I pointed out. First, I told classification of public policy as program, projects, etc. Program, activity, projects. Number 2, determination of administrative machinery. Number 3, I told consultation with interest group. Number 4, I told involvement of other beneficiary. Number 5, I told clearance from regulatory authorities. Next, I told space for innovation. Then I told manage resources for execution. And last, continuous monitoring system. When you talk of execution, you require to perform what? Activity. POCOC activity. Postcor is pointed or given by Luther Golik. It is basically executive function which consists of 7 functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and busting. And POCOC is basically developed by Henry Fayol. It is also executive function, consists of 5 functions: planning, organizing, command, control, coordination. I tell you, these functions are very much required when you start policy execution. You require to first go for planning, then you require to organize them, you require to manage resources, you require to coordinate them, you require to give direction, you require to manage fund, you require to exercise control. So these things are very much required here. Getting a point? There, now I will like to discuss, there can be 2 types of approach of policy execution. There can be number of approaches, but here I can discuss 2 approaches. First, top-down approach, and second, bottom-up approach. What do you mean top-down approach? Means here, if authority lies at the top level and from here directions and orders are given to lower authority, this is called top-down approach. And what is bottom-up approach? If authority lies at the lower level and all execution process takes place at lower level, and only coordinative role or supervisory role are performed at the apex level, that is bottom-up approach. Get a point? In regulatory administration, we find top-down approach, and development and welfare administration, we find bottom-up approach. Get a point? In defense and law and order, usually we go for top-down approach. Get a point? And in law, welfare, rural development, urban development, that is good that we go for bottom-up approach. Earlier there has been a thrust for top-down approach. Now it is shifting towards bottom-up approach. Get a point? So this thing we require to keep in mind. Then there can be hurdles, as I told. Policy execution is most, you can say, affected area. You can say more targeted area. Most, you can say, difficult zone, because everyone exercise pressure on policy execution to corner policy benefits in their own favor. That is why it is subjected to several hurdles. So I have just pointed out there can be several hurdles which can be summed up as first hurdle. I pointed out that there can be theoretical hurdles, means public policy is not properly formulated. Getting point? That there is no clear-cut objective, there are no clear-cut goals. So to implement such type of public policy is not easy. It is bound to create problem when you go for execution. Just last time I was saying that degree देखलाओ, नौकरी पाओ, बच्चों को पढ़ाओ, that policy given by Nitish Kumar government was very difficult when we go for execution. So this is the basic thing. Then political hurdles, everything has what politics relation. Whether it is in position to give vote or not. If it is against vote, political system may put control over them, put hurdle in it, execution, and some sort of resistance by political system also. Bureaucracy is basically playing significant role here in execution, but sometimes due to red tapeism, due to specialization, due to their own vested interest, it exercise hurdle in implementation. Then what is substantive? Some public policy is of very fluid nature, very dynamic nature. To define them very difficult and implement almost very difficult. So this type of policy also with the just you can point out that presently lockdown very difficult to get implemented because neither administration nor authority are aware of such type of development earlier. This is for the first time India is having such type of situation. So here neither public are getting convinced, nor systems are competent to exercise control, nor they can exercise excessive pressure. So very, you can say, peculiar situation emerge, particularly due to this situation. Now environmental factors I told, due to sometimes we have shortage of time, sometimes we have shortage of space, sometimes we have, you can say, adverse situation which put execution, which put excess pressure on execution, and due to several you can say problems or hurdles, policy is subjected to limitation, various limitation, and ultimate policy benefits are basically denied. So this type of situation we always find. That's why I tell you, last time have you seen television or have you seen the situation taking place earlier? Due to all of sudden decision taken by government, lockdown, a large number of persons from rural Bihar, UP and northern eastern India where came out of their home and were intended to go their home state, since there was no communication, no transportation. So that was very, you can say, peculiar and very, you can say, peculiar situation emerged. Sometimes no ethical dilemma emerged, some political issue emerged. It question very important mark on our development pursuit what we did in last 90 years. Why address policy are not properly addressed to such type of situation? Why even after 70 years of independence, large number of people are trying for their basic subsistence. They are struggling for their basic requirements and fulfillment of basic needs. This is the situation we require to understand from policy perspective. May be possible that we may have formulated very effective policy, but due to policy paralysis, these policies were not properly implemented, and as a result, policy harvest, policy benefits are not properly distributed. That's why still large number of people are deprived of basic amenities. Get your mind? So this thing you require to keep in mind. There is no difficulty. Now I will like to discuss last but not the least, policy evaluation. This topic is very important. I tell you that there was one question in BPSC that how policy formulation and execution is related to socio-economic development and prosperity. I will like to put one more point here, not policy execution and formulation only, but evaluation also has direct bearing on overall development of country. If evaluation is not properly taken place, then it may affect next round formulation process, execution process. So it may give some sort of vicious circle of, you can say, non-performance, and ultimately entire system may collapse. So this is the thing. So this is last but not the least, policy evaluation. What is a policy evaluation? Sometimes policy monitoring and policy evaluation are interchangeably used, but there is difference. Policy monitoring is basically execution function. When execution is taking place, you exercise control over them. Getting point? Through, you can say, monitoring. When exam is taking place, there is invigilation is taking place also. Invigilator can see whether classes are having exam are taking place peacefully or not. Is there any difficulty? They try to correct during execution also. When execution takes place, then there is no correction. Then only evaluation will take place. So what is evaluation? Evaluation is basically post-mortem of execution, whether the policy benefit, what it was intended, or achieved or not, what is ground reality, what impact it has caused on society, what sort of changes we find in ground level. So these questions are addressed by policy evaluation only. So policy evaluation is last but not the least very important stage in public policy. But I must tell you one thing, that it is largely ignored. And you know what happens if we give maximum energy over policy formulation, and then whatsoever energy is left now is given on execution, and very, you can say, marginal if energy we give on monitoring, evaluation, and you can say determining policy impact, etc. Getting a point? That's why problem continues. So this is the thing. If you want that problems are permanently addressed, then not only you require to give emphasis on a execution aspect, only you require to give proper attention and evaluation also, so that right policy formulation in the next round should take place. So this is the thing you require to take place. Get your point? To who has business of policy evaluation? Definitely it is business of legislature, it is business of judiciary. There are several specialized agencies. Somewhere there is internal evaluation machinery also, the internal, external, official, non-official, in the same classification as I told point. So the policy evaluation is also subjected to two factors, official factors and non-official factors. International agency also play very important role in evaluation. Sometimes we find very severe, interesting or paradoxical situation. Government evaluation says the claim are quite different from the claim given by private sectors or international agency or something somewhere else. Why? their approach, their methodology, their intention may be sometimes different. So this is the thing you require to keep in mind. Then what can be criteria? What should be criteria for evaluation? There is lack of anonymity, lack of, you can say, consensus here. Several scholars have given other point that policy should be executed on that level, this level. But what can be criteria? Can you tell me? Yes. First, there should be policy should be evaluated on efficiency criteria, then effectiveness criteria, then equality criteria, then advocacy criteria, then public interest criteria, then Pareto optimally. What is Pareto optimally? It is basically welfare, used in welfare economics, where it is said that in general, in economics, to make someone better off, one requires to make someone worse off, because resources are limited and wants are unlimited. That's why if you want to make someone better off, you require to make someone worse off. But Pareto optimally says, without making someone particularly worse off, if you make someone better off, that is Pareto optimally. In our reservation, we do the same thing. Without making particularly someone worse off, we make someone better off. This is the basic thing you require to keep in mind. This is Pareto optimally. Can you tell me what are criteria I told to policy execution evaluation? Yes. First, efficiency, then effectiveness, then third, equality, then fourth, you can say advocacy, then fifth, public interest, then I told Pareto optimally. These are criteria which are required to keep in mind when you go for policy evaluation. Get a point? And I told the factor involving policy evaluation, the same thing. Legislative committee, executive has several organs which is particularly involved in the execution one also. Some international agency also. Sometimes judiciary come and its constitute committee to go into investigation. Then bureaucracy has internal evaluation also. Public, political party, pressure group, they give their own report card. Say this is your report card and this is prepared by ours. Say compare it where what you claim and what we find. So these are quite different things. And this thing can be found only during evaluation. So this is a very important thing you require to keep in mind. Clear? And same thing I tell you, evaluation is also subjected to several hurdles, and these hurdles are theoretical, political, administrative, substantive, and environmental. Some policy are, as I told, not properly formulated, nor properly executed. Get a point? Some linkage is missing. Some conceptual clarity is missing. That's why not properly formulated, not properly executed. Then it is bound to be subject to problem during evaluation also. And this is theoretical. Political, sometimes political system due to their what politics ignore or overlook evaluation, right evaluation. Bureaucracy due to fear of wrong action, due to fear of disciplinary action also defy honest and effective evaluation process. Some public policy are of very dynamic nature, which can be very difficult to evaluate them. Whenever it is very difficult to determine or measure their performance, that's why you have to subject it to problem. Environmental, external factors like you can say conducive factors, unconducive factors, favorable factors, unfavorable factors. Public protest sometime come, you go there, ask for people, ask people what the situation is, they resort, they attack you, they protest against you. Such type of situation make evaluation more difficult. So these things environmental cost. Presently you may have find several times when administration approached public started resorting violence, opposition, resistance, sometimes violence, some unlawful activity also. So this is the thing required to do. So this thing, is all about public policy. But despite these hurdles, despite this limitation, public policy is very important, and now it is taking shape of policy science, and I tell you it's becoming highly potential one. And I tell you one thing, that it has direct bearing with quality of governance, and it has direct relation with sustainable development, inclusive growth, you can say overall prosperity, and you can say well-being of individual and society. There was one question in VPSC that the public policy is basically, sound public policy is very much essential for sustainable development. Yes, because it is the public policy which can assess and withdraw the overall picture of situation and work accordingly. If you go without policy, you are going to put yourself in trouble. Getting point? Once there was question that in VPSC, that question was that public policy formulation and execution are very important for effective social planning, social change and economic development. Yes, not formulation and execution, but evaluation also has direct influence on societal change and economic development. If you take the thing in broader perspective or small perspective, execution can work and you can overlook evaluation. But if you go for long perspective, you take consideration of formulation, execution and evaluation all together, then only you can expect that there should be effective and you can say sound development in society. Getting a point? I was asking question myself that what happened, why after 70 years of independence we are not in position to address several of our basic problems. Definitely there is some policy failure. I tell you, this policy failure maybe due to wrong formulation, due to wrong execution, or due to wrong evaluation. No one knows. But one thing is that is very clear: the replacement of Yojana Ayog by Niti Ayog is some sort of a step towards policy execution. But now there is time to give more emphasis on policy evaluation also. If policy is not properly evaluated, then it is not going to work for next round policy formulation process effective one, and in this way you are not going to work for long-term development and prosperity. That's why this topic is very important one. Get a point? Several times there is question on formulation and execution. Then the question is, what is the stages in formulation, what is the stages in execution? The formulation has identification of problem, determining or search for policy alternatives and their investigation, then setting priority, then selection of one policy options, alternatives and put in operation, then you can say evaluation and correction. This is all about, I have already told when I was doing policy execution, policy formulation work. In Hindi medium class I have just given the diagram also, you can take from that also. In the same way there is execution also, that execution also takes place through system approach. Here identification, input level, process level, output level, execution, feedback, this thing continues. Even evaluation follows the same chain of command, so you require to understand in that way and write accordingly. Get a point? So I do hope you might have some clarity about this topic. If you have any sort of difficulty, you can ask me. You can consult IGNOU notes of BA and MA both. These things are highly beneficial. Take 1 to 2 questions of VPSC previously asked, right answer, post to me, and if any difficulty, contact me. Thanks a lot.